let's talk about what it means to be in alignment. There are a handful of things that you can look to in your human design immediately that will pop out to you as what your alignment means for you truly. If you haven't yet looked for your human design, you can get one at souledyoga.com. It'll give you your whole body graph, your whole layout. And you can use your body graph for the conversation that we're about to have. Each one of us has our own very unique blueprint. And when you know your blueprint, it can help you to determine what you're here to do, what your purpose is, what you are best at, and where you're still living in your shadows. Okay, so the reason that this is important is because there's a conversation I had today with a CEO that is mapping out their vision for 2026. And the company is taking a hard right. Okay, there's a lot of things that are shifting. But what's important is that this person was looking to other great CEOs and how they have ascended into where they're at right now. And namely, the CEOs that they were looking at were the ones you always think of, right? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Steve Jobs. This CEO in particular is really just feels a lot of alignment with Steve Jobs. So when they were explaining their vision for 2026 and what that looks like, there was a lot of disappointment because they took a particular assessment that said, you're not like Steve Jobs. And the reality of it is there are ways that this person is like Steve Jobs, and there are ways that this person is very, very different from Steve Jobs. And immediately I thought, what's his human design? What's Bill Gates' human design? What's Elon Musk's human design? So when you look at your human design, the first thing that you're going to look at is what your energy type is. Are you a generator, a manifester, a manifesting generator? Are you a projector? Are you a reflector? That alone is going to tell you a lot. The second thing is going to be your authority. Your authority is how you make decisions. Do you make decisions that come directly up and out of your gut? Or are you an emotional authority, for example, where you need to kind of ride this emotional wave and get to emotional neutral, and that's where you need to be making decisions from? How these folks have made decisions is very key to how they've ascended from where they started to how they've built these companies. And the third thing is their profile. And this was really key to the conversation that we were having. So the disappointment was that I am not as creative, as innovative as Steve Jobs is. And so immediately I went and looked and seen what's Steve Jobs' human design. And best I could find, cut that part out, best I could find is that he's a 6-3 generator. Now, here's the thing about 3 lines. I have a 3 line in my human design. 3 lines are like the master tinkerers, okay? We learn through trial and error. We learn through tinkering with things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, seeing what steps you can skip over. And if you're a manifesting generator and a 3 line, like you are here to like cut through and find like what is the shortcut, and you do it through tinkering, okay? Steve Jobs also has a 6 line. And the 6 line in the early part of their life, they act like a 3 line, so tinkerers. So for the first 30 years of his life, he was a tinkerer exponentially. And then as a 6 line evolves, they start to integrate their tinkering, integrate the lessons that they've learned. And by the time they're in that 3rd phase and they're like mid to late 50s going into 60, they have integrated all of these things and they become like a sage, a mentor, somebody that people come to say like, I know you've done a lot of things. How did you get there? How did you figure it out? Steve Jobs had a 6 line and a 3 line, okay? The CEO that I was talking to this morning is not a 6-3, they're a 4-6. So of course, they're not going to have that same level of tinkering, that same level of innovation, if you will, that a Steve Jobs type CEO would have. He has had a very specific set of gifts. Now this CEO, his gifts are very different. And if you're trying to operate from gifts that you don't inherently have, especially as a generator, you're going to be frustrated. That's your cue that something that you're doing is out of alignment. This person's gifts are a 4-6 profile. A 4 line is like a master networker. They are really good at figuring out what people are good at, connecting dots. They're like the social glue. They walk into a room and people just kind of gravitate to them. this person also has a very specific channel in their human design that connects their instincts to their drive, to their discipline, to the thing that their heart desires. That specific channel is key at understanding what people are good at and getting people into work that is suited for them. He's excellent at finding people's genius and aligning them to work that aligns to their genius, which also creates like this legion of followers, which grows that 4 line, right? The networker. This creates this legion of people who are so loyal because all of a sudden they're more satisfied, they're more peaceful, they're more happy, they're more excited about their work. This is one of the gifts that he has. So what started as a conversation of being disappointed that he wasn't as innovative as Steve Jobs, which on some level could mean that he couldn't achieve the success, the same kind of success that Steve Jobs had. Actually, the whole thing pivoted on its head because the way that this person lives into their design, into their alignment, isn't to tinker. It's to coach. It's to mentor. It's to make connections. The way that he takes his company through this next level of ascension is not to follow what somebody else is good at. It's to live in alignment with his specific design. So, all of that to say, where are you not following your design? Where are you doing things that people told you you should do or that was the right way to do them? Where are you working against what you're inherently good at? Where are you speaking from a voice that you were taught to use but isn't the way that your voice was intended to be used? So it's maybe not landing. The trajectory of the conversation that I had this morning with this particular executive completely upended things. What started as disappointment and frustration became a totally different path forward, one that was super invigorated. And because this person is a generator, generators have all this energy in their sacral. It's like a motor. And so when they're lit up about something, it's just a buzz, it's a hum, it's a I have to get into action. What started as disappointment, what started as frustration, led to, I gotta go. There's so many things. I want to get started. I want to do this and I want to do that. It's like a soul yes. It's like a soul hell yes. Okay. So this is what it means to follow your design. This is what it means to live in alignment. And I will tell you, if you're starting your human design experiment, if you will, living in alignment doesn't come overnight. You've likely been living out of alignment in different areas of your life for a really long time. So to disentangle those and start to feel out what feels like home, what feels like alignment, it could take a little bit of time. But man, when you hit it, it's like you're not trying to Kool-Aid man your way through life and through situations and through interactions. It's like everything starts to come easier. Everything starts to feel like doors are just open. So I'm going to put some resources if you want to look at that for yourself. I'll put them in the description below. You can take a look at your human design chart. You can take a look at, if you want to do a one-on-one reading, great. I would love to do that with you. If you want to get into like just learning about human design, we have an intro to human design thing that you can look at. There's lots of resources, but that's not actually why I made this. Why I made this is because there's nothing in your human design that's bad. There's nothing in anybody else's human design that's good. Human design isn't good or bad. It's just a map. And every part of your design, you can live into the gift of the thing, or you can live into the shadow of the thing. And I say that to say that when you start living in your design, man, life is so good. It feels so much more like home. And there's cues in your design that will tell you if you're living in alignment or out of alignment. When you go and you pull your human design, look for your not self. That is the emotional cue that tells you that you're out of alignment. If you're a generator, it's frustration. If you're a projector, it's bitterness. If you are a manifester, it's anger. So if you're that design type and you're feeling those things, like that should be your cue. What's going on that I'm working against myself? I'm so lit. 2026 is already off to a banging start, and this is about to be such an aligned year. I'm so passionate about living in alignment with your design, with my design, about getting in alignment, about exhaling all of the stuff that's no longer for you, and feeling into a life that feels better than your wildest dreams. So that's it. That's all I've got for you. I love you. I mean it. Bye.